Welcome in, listener. You're listening to a segment from the Slumpbuster podcast with Ju-Ju and Dre. Find the full episode on Spotify, iTunes, the Google Play Store, or our YouTube channel. Enjoy.
Dre and I, we had already kind of had like our top 5 Kobe moments. And I know that it's definitely one of those losses that impacted you. I mean, the avatar right now for OD on sports is still obviously a tribute to Kobe Bryant. Obviously, like, hey, he was an icon during all of our childhoods here. I assume we're all relatively around the same age here. So why don't you kind of like give us like your thoughts, and definitely we could talk like, what's your favorite Kobe moment?
Well, the reason why, for me, I'm still in shock by it. There's times he's still, let me say, he's still the background of my phone. There's times like, I don't know if it happens for you guys, but there's times where like during the day, it'll just kind of hit me. Like you think about Kobe, like, cause I don't know about you guys, but I didn't know him personally. So he's always been a guy that's just like there. And then you just kind of sit there, you're like, wait, he's not here anymore. And you have like a really somber moment during the day. You're like, shit. But growing up as a Lakers fan, but also in Southern California, I idolized the guy. Everything from obviously him being an amazing basketball player, but to his work ethic as an athlete, me being a high school athlete, I channeled that energy. I was in high school during the 2009 and 2010 championship years. So that was fuel for my fire being an athlete, and seeing all that he's done just post basketball as well, and opening up his life a little bit more, being a dad to his 4 daughters. From head to toe, Mamba mentality, everything. If there was one guy I would love to meet and shake hands with, it would have been Kobe Bryant. So it was huge loss. I feel like for all, not only just for me, but for everybody. And from what I heard from back home, you could just feel like the energy just in this entire not only Los Angeles, but Southern California just drained. Everyone was feeling the loss because Kobe was LA. He was embodied, kid starting out being born in Italy, then going to school in Philadelphia, and then moving to LA. Most people move to LA to chase their dreams, to do what they want to do, build a better life. And Kobe did that and more, and grew up in front of not only LA's eyes, but in front of the world. And we saw him fall. We saw him rise, obviously, but obviously making mistakes in the process, but learning from them too. So I feel like we were all, and one of the point I made, I did a podcast 2 days after the report came out, which is to date, I don't know if there's going to be a harder episode for me to do, because that was extremely difficult. But that was one thing I said, is we all kind of saw Kobe as a member of our family and a part of our childhood in some sort of way. And I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but I think part of that was because we knew he was human. Like, despite the fact that he had these superhero-like qualities, we knew he wasn't perfect, and we acknowledged that. And to me, that's why he's probably my favorite athlete of all time. But my favorite Kobe moment, hands down, Game 7, 2010. Turning it up in the fourth quarter. And I kind of took that with me my entire life when I said, you think Kobe in the fourth. You're as clutch as Kobe in the fourth. You get your Kobe face on, the underbite he kind of does when he gets pissed off and angry. And you just know, like, just forfeit the game. Like, go to the locker room. Kobe's about to set the court on fire. So that's definitely my top Kobe moment. But, sheesh. Yeah, man. Sorry, I'm getting worked up. I'm still not over it, but
No, that's a great one. And you're right. It's especially hard since you were in high school and around that, 2010 era. That was the same as us, right? We graduated in 2012. And so for us, right, like Kobe has been a part of our lives pretty much as young as we were, right? From the time we were born. I was born in 94, right? So the 1 year that he wasn't in the league, I wasn't even really alive, right? I was just being born. And so you grew up seeing Kobe, and him being, just a one-team athlete. I think it's a lot different from even just being a great athlete, right? Like you have LeBron James, and I think everybody's going to appreciate him. And eventually when he does pass, I hope it's not anytime soon. I hope he lives a long and prosperous life. But people are going to sort of remember him as a Cav, but then there was the Heat, and there's sort of that tie to the Lakers, right? And he's going to be remembered as this great athlete, but he doesn't feel like LA. Whereas you're right, Kobe felt like LA. He moved there for the entirety of his NBA career, sort of that, hey, I'm going to carry out my dream, right? And make my living, right? Do a lot of things for my family out here. Stuck with one organization his entire time. So he just felt like the Lakers organization.
Yeah, what can I say? Like, mentioned he was one of your heroes. He was definitely one of my nightmares, obviously, from a fan perspective. I feel like you just had to throw in the 2010 like championship year as kind of a dig, but I'll let it go because we're remembering a legend. So it's fine. It's fine. We went with more of a, for ours, we went with the fake out, is it a fake out? Is it not?
Yeah.
But either way, he looks pretty badass with it.
Right.
We also threw on there, of course, you have to remember the 81-point game.
Absolutely.
I mean, just an absolute clinic from any perspective. I mean, I can't even think of a really good like equivalent to that at this point, except if like Patrick Mahomes threw like 8 touchdowns next year. That's the only thing I could think would be even like close to an 81-point game. And even when you compare it just to Wilt's accomplishment of the 100 points, especially because we only have that one photo of Wilt holding the 100 point.
Mhm.
That's it. To actually see we could watch 81 on loop, it's amazing.
And that was in a time well before the NBA had developed to what it is now, right? Like it's almost unheard of to get above even, 60 points is an accomplishment.
And when you do, you end up losing like Devin Booker.
Usually.